Hey guys, Samurai here. I'm here to talk about something that we've all asked at one point. How would we edit Ash's teams? Over the past year or so, we've seen different anipoke tubers take a crack at making Ash's teams throughout all his regions. First it was Lumiose Trainer Zac, followed by Infamous, then Aluximo. So I want to take a crack at this too. I feel like my choices, hopefully, are different enough and you guys enjoy my choices. I'll give reasoning for all of them, and maybe some of them will be repeats of the canonical versions, as I think most of the canonical versions for Ash's team make sense. However, this is a fun video that I get to do what I want in, so if you had a different suggestion or even a different opinion, leave a comment down below on what team you would edit and why you put that Pokemon there. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. And let's get started with what if I replaced all of Ash's teams. First up, we have the Kanto region. Now the Kanto region stays basically almost the same. We start off with Pikachu, of course. Pikachu's going to be on all of the teams, so even if I don't say Pikachu when I'm mentioning the team, he is on the team. So that's just the note. He is on the team, it's just that he started in Kanto, so that's where I'm putting him. So it starts out with Pikachu, Bulbasaur, Wartortle, Charizard, Primeape, Pidgeot, Butterfree that still gets released, and Snorlax. Now let me explain. I've seen a lot of people give it to Ivysaur, and while I love Ivysaur, I feel like if Bulbasaur didn't want to evolve in the first place, we honestly shouldn't make it evolve at all, just keep it a Bulbasaur. But with Squirtle, I don't think Squirtle had any negative connotations with evolving. I'm not saying it should evolve in the Wartortle episode from the Orange Island specifically. I'm saying any time after the Indigo League where it has a focus episode, have it evolve in that episode, as I think Wartortle would definitely add more variety and more power to Ash's team, and he doesn't need Kingler after that, so it works. Snorlax, so this is the Snorlax Ash brings to the Orange Island, so he catches it a lot earlier. I think this would be the Snorlax they tried to wake up from the town. Ash would just catch it at that point, but since Snorlax would be asleep for most of the Indigo League, Ash couldn't really use him, but he started to pull weight during the Orange Islands and Johto portion, so I think that's how it would work. And for Primeape, honestly, I just wanted Ash to have Primeape. I think Primeape's cool. I think Ash should have Primeape. They actually grew up on in that one episode, which I heavily enjoyed seeing. So yeah, give Ash the Primeape. Alright, time to move on to the Johto region. Ash's Johto team will be Pikachu, of course, Heracross, Chikorita, Quilava, Feraligatr, Noctowl, Houndour, Donphan, and Larvitar, who is still a baby Pokemon and will be used for the Battle Frontier. So let me explain my choices. So first off, Heracross would be an early powerhouse, very similar to how he was in the original canon, except without Oak stealing him for every 2 minutes. Chikorita, honestly, I never saw a point of Bayleaf. Like, Bayleaf never really, in my opinion, never really needed to evolve, so it could have just stayed at Chikorita. Like, I think Chikorita is cute. Even though I hate the line, I think it's cute, so just keep it as a Chikorita. Quilava, I was trying to be different because I noticed on a lot of these videos they usually give Ash Typhlosion, so I was like, you know what, let me be original, I'm gonna give him Quilava. I still think Quilava's hella cool. I like Typhlosion, don't get me wrong, but I think Quilava's cool, and I think, it's just a fair middle ground, because I think Quilava should have been in the anime, but just wasn't. And the final one is Feraligatr. Honestly, this is more me, but I think Feraligatr's hella cool. I think Ash and Feraligatr just fit. Like, could you imagine an arc where Totodile has to learn moves that are better suited for it being like heavier, kind of like what Torterra was, but instead of it being a tank, it still moves, but like, it dances a bit differently, can't hop as much as it used to, but it still dances in a way. Like, imagine Tierno's Blastoise, something very similar to that, where it uses its bulk to its advantage. Okay, so I think we got Houndour. Now Houndour, this is just from that one episode where Ash met up with a Houndour. I like that episode a lot, and I like Houndoom, so I feel like Houndour would be like really cool to see. So Houndoom versus Harrison's Houndoom in the league, I think that would be really cool to see, honestly. And Ash never really had a dog up to that point, and I seen like Zach gave him Arcanine in his video, so I realized, okay, let me give him Houndoom in my video, because there was an episode where he did beat a Houndoom. And Gary has Arcanine, he has Houndoom, Gary has the Kanto dog, Ash has the Johto dog. Alright, let's move on to the Hoenn region. Now the Hoenn region, I think I've had the least amount of... Alright, let's move on to the Hoenn region. Now for the Hoenn region, it's the smallest team I think I've made, other than the one coming up, which is Kalos, but right now we're focusing on Hoenn. It's Pikachu, Sceptile, Marshtomp, Mightyena, Swellow, Glalie, and Torkoal. It still has more than 6 members with Glalie and Torkoal. I think they would be switched in personally, like they would be switching in and out. Mightyena, I gave him Mightyena because personally I thought Ash and Mightyena fit and it looks really cool, and Ash needs another dark type. Like I think Ash has a lack of dark types, so having a dark type in Hoenn would be really cool. Having Marshtomp, honestly, Mudkip was the starter I chose, and I've realized, what if Ash caught a Mudkip? So I've realized, like, oh, okay, then we evolve it halfway, very similar to Polava. It would be like a secondary powerhouse to what Pignite was in Best Wishes. So like what Pignite was, that's what Marshtomp is. It would be like a secondary powerhouse. Nothing too major. Now we can move on to his Sinnoh team. His Sinnoh team will be Pikachu, Infernape, Staraptor, Weasel, Spiritomb, Garchomp, and Grotto. Alright, so I should probably explain my choices. The reason why I gave Ash a Spiritomb is because, again, I didn't want to be as generic as the other ones. Like, I didn't want to repeat what other people were saying, so I looked for very creative choices with my, like, again, with my team choices. So I realized, what if Ash caught that Spiritomb that was giving him trouble in that one episode? I feel like it would be a very interesting member of his team, and obviously add up some switch up. Garchomp, in this version, like, have Ash catch Gibble a lot earlier than the original canon. Grotto, I wanted to keep up the theme of the mid-stage starters, the fully evolved starters. I felt like it just made sense to keep it up all the way up to Gen 4 if I could. So we had Charizard and Wartortle, we had Feraligatr, Polava, we had Marshtomp and Sceptile, so it only makes sense that we have Grotto and Infernape. I still think Grotto could still be a tank, and if they gave it more screen time, it still could have worked. Personally, I like Ash's Torterra. I like Torterra as a Pokemon in general, but I can admit it did go downhill after evolving. Next up, we have the Unova region. Now, this is the region that I probably put the most changes in, and I think you guys know what's coming up. For Ash's Unova team, it's Braveheart, Flip Unpheasant, or Unpleasant as some people like to call it. It's okay, I don't hate it, but I just think Braveheart is a much cooler bird and fits Ash a lot better. But hey, that's just me. I think Braveheart is cooler. Samurott, Sawsbuck, Male, Volcarona, Scrafty, and Gigalith. Now I'm going to explain most of my choices. I explained Braveheart earlier. Samurott, I feel like Ash and Samurott just mesh well together. I know a lot of people say Ash should have caught a Superior. I honestly never saw Snivy evolving, and again, this is probably due to me only seeing it use one strategy and never learning any new moves or just getting stronger. For all of Ash's other Pokemon, I had the impression that they were getting stronger. Snivy, it always felt like it was at the same level, like it never improved. That's just me though. And also, it's me. I'm giving Ash a Samurott. Sawsbuck Male, Ash was wanting to catch a Deerling, and I felt like, let me give him a grass type that isn't the starter for once. So I feel like since he wanted to catch a Deerling, you could have a really good Sawsbuck by mid Best Wishes. And Volcarona. Now Volcarona is definitely the weirdest one. I feel like if Ash were to catch a fire type, I've seen a lot of people say give him Darmanitan. I wanted to give Ash Volcarona. I think Volcarona is way cooler than Darmanitan and Heat more. So Ash getting a Volcarona, I could see him doing some serious damage. I could definitely see them going to the desert ruins or resort, whatever you want to call it, for an episode, and Ash finding a Larvesta that he catches and evolves into a Volcarona. I think that would be really cool to see, honestly, and I honestly would have a lot of fun seeing that. Scrafty, he's one of the few from the original team that I kept. I love Ash's Scraggy, and I think it should have stayed. Like, don't get me wrong, I like Crocodile too. He's a good dark type too. But I love Ash's Scraggy. He had so much personality. It was so fun to watch progress. Next up, we have Gigalith. Now, Gigalith is another member of the original team, and I honestly felt like he was there for balance. I wanted to balance out the teams, and Gigalith was a great balance for that. He didn't offset the balance of the team even in the original, because he was rock type, not ground and rock. So I feel like he works, and Gigalith might be ground and rock. I'm not looking at his typing right now, but he was rock type. He was majority rock type and had some steel type moves, which made him really fun to use, which made him really fun to see. So hopefully you guys like the Unova team. Now let's move on to the team I also made like the least amount of changes to, the Kalos team. And this is the most team I could think of. We have Pikachu as always, Greninja, Talonflame, Hawlucha, Goodra, Furfrou, and Go-Go. Let me explain the choices. Greninja, Talonflame, Hawlucha, Goodra, they're same as canon. I felt like they fit Ash perfectly, and they did not need to be changed. Furfrou, he's honestly there for balance. He's going to be switched out with his other Pokemon. He's going to be there for like very important gym battles, and like he's not going to be a main member of the team. He's going to be switched out quite frequently. And Skidoo, aka Go-Go, like evolving into Go-Go, I felt like since Ash was like the first Kalos Pokemon he saw was Go-Go, I felt like the Pokemon like he caught, like his last Pokemon there, would be Go-Go. That would be a really good like symbolism of like, you're the Pokemon that introduced me to this region, and you're the Pokemon I have the last memory of from this region. So I think that would be really cool. Not to mention, it definitely brings some much needed balance to Ash's Kalos team. He had 3 flying types and 2 dragon types. My god, like he needed the grass type. So I think that fits. Now we go to his Alola team. For Ash's Alola team, we have Rowlet, Duskform Lycanroc, Pikachu as always. We have Incineroar, Naganadel, and Alolan Sandslash replacing Melmetal. Let's explain these choices. A majority of these choices stayed the same because I really like Ash's Alola team. I felt like it fit him to a T. I don't think they need to be changed. Panasimian, I give him Panasimian because of that one episode, and they legitimately grew a bond. Now if that one episode wasn't so controversial, that would be another thing. Naganadel, I liked Naganadel, so I'm not even gonna remove it. He did kind of get rushed in near the end, and I will agree to that, but I still like him all the same, so I'm keeping him in. Now, Alolan Sandslash was one of the only few changes I made, and this is because Alolan Sandslash is cool, and Ash needed a Steel type. Pretty much. You might be saying, but that was Melmetal's job. Melmetal, I think we can all argue, shouldn't have been caught by Ash. He could have just been Kukui's, like, Ash was taking care of him similar to Nebby, but he was never Ash's. In a sense, like, he could still, like, Ash would still own him, but he would never really use him in battle. That's what I mean. So, I think Alolan Sandslash fits a lot better, and I could honestly see, like, a lot of comedic moments with Alolan Sandslash. Now, time for Ash's Journeys team. Now, this was the team I could make the most changes to because of its nature, and I definitely tried to give each region at least 1 rep. I tried. Okay, I tried. I'm sorry, Hoenn. I tried. So for Ash's Journeys team, we have Pikachu, as always, Kommo-o for Alola, Gengar for Kanto, Lucario and Zoroark for Sinnoh and Unova, and Corviknight for Galar. Now, you're probably wondering, what are my choices? Explain them. I replaced Kommo-o for Dragonite because honestly, Kommo-o got done dirty and definitely needs more representation, and honestly is one of the very few most underrated Alola Pokemon, so I feel like he would be really cool to see. And not to mention, he's still a pseudo-legendary, so he can still learn a majority of moves that Dragonite can learn. Now for Gengar I'm keeping in because Gengar still fits Ash in my opinion. He just give him more screen time in the original show, please. And he also works as a good Gen 1 rep, so I think it fits. Lucario. Now this is the same Lucario from canon because we can all admit we all wanted to Ash catch a Lucario at one point. Some of us wanted it in XY, some of it wanted it in DP. I am fine with it now, I really don't mind. Lucario was never one of the Pokemon I wanted, but I think it would be cool if Ash caught Zoroark. Now since Zoroark and Lucario both got moves, I feel like they both should get a spot on the team. and it would be a cool way to represent Unova, a region often misrepresented in the Pokemon anime, so I think Zorwolf would be a pretty cool choice. And Corviknight. It's been a while since I shot a regional bird, and Corviknight is the newest one, so I think to represent Galar, give him a Rookidee, and have him evolve into a Corviknight. I think that would be a great thing to do, or even have him go to the wild area and catch him with the wild Corviknight. You can follow him there and make it a very powerful battle though from the beginning, but near the end, Lucario and Zoroark are pulling their weight too. I think they would fit immensely. And those are my Ash Ketchum teams. Those are my new teams for Ash Ketchum. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave your teams in the comments below. Let's see if they're different. Let's compare. Did you agree with my choices? Maybe I'll agree with your choices. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to comment if you want a part 2 for the companions and rivals. I'd be down to make that. And yes, if I make the rivals video, I'm putting Tobias in there. So this is all I had to say. Samurai out.